Hello, welcome to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft. This is Richard. So, Michelle and I, several months ago,
It's been
was at a Dollar Tree, and we found these jiggly gels. This is the covering, or the package top. And these are what they are. They're like little cups of Jello. If that's what you want to call it. Anyway, there's 8 per pack, and I stupidly purchased 2 packs of them. They've been in the refrigerator ever since. They do have these little cool nets that they came in, and that's kind of what the video is going to go towards, that in a minute. But we tasted 2 of them. We tasted the lime one.
lime pear something.
And some kind of orange thing. Let's see here.
It doesn't say on the packaging.
Yeah, they don't really have anything on the packaging. Anyway, we tried an orange one of these, and we tried one of these. Nasty. What's your, give one word? That was hers is bleh. They were nasty. I'll be honest, gross. Now, from my understanding, these are more, they came from Mexico or South America or something like that. Is that where they're?
That's my understanding.
Yeah, my understanding they're from South America or Mexico or somewhere around there. Anyway, gross. And we have no use for these because they're disgusting. So I'm assuming those are getting tossed.
Well, we should probably let Michael and Jalinda try them. Jalinda wanted to try them.
Okay, we'll let Michael and Jalinda try them. Maybe the neighbors, we'll let the neighbors try. Maybe the neighbors.
No, I'm not going to be that mean.
You're not going to be that mean? They could try it.
I'm not going to be that mean.
You're not going to be that mean. Okay. So anyway, we'll let Michael and Jalinda give them a shot, and if they don't like them, they're going to be tossed out. So anyway, I thought, because I'm keeping these, today's video is going to be on a topic that I do see on occasion with preppers, mainly preppers. So this is going to be a practical, inexpensive way of keeping and maintaining your food prep and things to that nature. So let's rearrange some stuff real quick, and then I got some stuff to show you.
And then stuff.
So I have things set up here. You may actually hear Beckett in the background. He's not feeling too bad today, or not too bad. He's not feeling too good today. He's kind of sick. He's got bronchitis. He's got bronchitis, and it's just messing with him really bad. Poor little guy. So I want to talk about containers, and then some, I guess it would be food product, or at least something you could add to food to make it better. Because, you know, when you're out in the woods and you're actually eating tree bark, the inner part of the tree, not the actual bark on the outside, but the inner part there, does make a decent bread. It does make a decent flour. It just doesn't always have the greatest taste. Yeah. Anyway, what's true? Have you ever?
He's laughing at your yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever eaten any?
Yeah. Didn't you make some once?
Yeah, I have made some. So anyway, using that nice.
We were in the man cave, right?
Huh?
We were in the man cave, right?
Yes. And I've made flour out of the inner tree bark. I've made flour out of actual seed that I've gathered from grasses out in the woods. Now that tastes better, I think, but it still kind of has a not fantastic taste sometimes. Anyway, containers. The way that containers make human beings.
They do tell a lot about a culture.
Well, containers are what made humans survive.
Yeah.
So anyway, our houses are nothing more than a large container where we keep all our stuff.
Can I interject something right here?
Feel free.
So, when I was in anthropology class, our instructor said one of the things that separated us from the species that didn't survive was our containers. And you can actually see there's a line, if you draw out a line of history, there's a line where you can see their population start declining and our population start increasing because we started using containers. And could travel farther because of those containers.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
There you go.
So now you have like an actual educated person rather than just me saying it.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well,
I wouldn't go
containers is what makes humans humans. And there have been more than a dozen human species on this planet, and we've actually coexisted with some of them throughout history. Homo sapiens, the only one that survived, and it's probably because of containers. Anyway, I like these little things. These got Cheerios in them, little packs like this that have the little, once you open them up, there's a little sealable thing here. These things are fantastic to keep, and other than the original cost, they don't really cost you anything. You eat the product, and now you've got a freaking great container. These, once sealed, are great for being out in the woods and keeping things dry, keeping them semi, fresh. But it contains a lot of good stuff. So anyway, I have a lot of these running around, and I've tried to toss a few out here and there. But I have some pretty big ones. I have some small ones. Potato chip, any foil type container like potato chip. Yeah. I guess we could use this as an example. Once this is empty, you could actually heat the top of that and seal that off. So these kind of containers are fantastic. Let's see here. I love these little plastic containers like this. Now, I'm not fond of glass containers for a few reasons. One is it's heavier, and two, they break, and it's hard to put them in a rucksack and run around the woods and clanky to clank and smash. You know, at least with these, they don't break. They may crack, they may wear out in time and all that, but they don't break and cause a lot of shards. Little plastic containers like this, or even the bigger mayonnaise and peanut butter ones. And that one actually came from the Dollar Tree. They've got like flavorings in them. They got chicken, they got veggies, and then they got a beef flavoring. So anyway, I keep a ton of those things around when I shouldn't. Just aluminum cans. These things make great cups and great containers for all sorts of fun stuff. Put water in this, set it by the fire, heat it up, and fantastic. You know, they may last, I think they last really decently for 2 or 3, maybe 4 times, and then they kind of start getting kind of weird. But
it depends on how quickly you heat them too. The slower you heat them, the longer they seem to last.
Yeah, so, but anyway, I've got tons of these. Probably more than I should. They make great stoves. There's tons and tons of crap you can do with these. Cut them down and have the aluminum, and I like to make fishing lures and stuff. Just endless stuff. I love tin cans. Love tin cans. This one has the container, the top still on, and oh my God, the amount of stuff you can do with a tin can is just phenomenal. I like to make cookware out of these things. Now, they do have a coating that needs to be burnt out. You could stick them in your oven, but it smokes a lot, and then your wife will yell at you.
And it leaves a residue in the oven.
And it leaves a residue in the oven. But what you can do is when you're out in the woods, you can take these, stick them in the campfire. They'll darken up and get the carbon and stuff all over them, and it'll burn out all that stuff. And these make fantastic pots and pans and all sorts of fun things. Another couple things that I've recently started playing with, and let me pause this real quick so I can actually plug this in because the battery's about ready to die. There we go. So it's plugged in. It should be good to go. Now, going back to these little containers like this, this is the little Jif one, peanut butter jar. This has a fire starting kit in it. You don't want your fire starting kit to get wet. So this is a great way in in damp weather and snowy weather and rain. Plus, it protects it. This stuff, I can stick this in my rucksack, and it protects the ferro rod in there so that it doesn't necessarily get broke. There's just protection and a container. So there we go. Let's see here. Recently, since Beckett's been around, we have these little formula containers like this here. Little container like this. These things are fantastic as containers. They're plastic, so they're durable and they're usable, but they're not heavy and they won't break.
And they're food safe.
And they're food safe. Tons and tons of stuff you can do with this. Now, I have not done this yet, but I do consider I am going to take one of these in particular. I also have, this is a Gerber for babies rice cereal thing, and it's got a really cool lid that just pops on and locks just like that. And then you got a little flip top here if you want to put liquid in it, but this is another one that we're going to work with. But I am going to place items inside this. I'll probably seal it up with some kind of tape or something, but I'm going to use this as a, see, there we go. I'm going to use this as a cache, and I'm going to actually bury one of these out and just see kind of how food products work in it versus other items. Usually when I use caches, I have PVC pipe, and that's what I generally use as a cache. But I'm going to give these a shot and see how they work. But these are great out in the woods. Again, countless different interpretations of what you can use these for. I've made traps out of these. Recently, you've probably seen a few of them. They're not only good for storage containers, but they're also good for many other things. So containers are pretty much free. You can find, none of these cost me a penny after the use of the product that I had in them. This one here had some chicken and dumplings in it. I don't know, it's like $3 or almost $4 at Walmart.
Yeah, almost 4 now.
Almost 4 now. I love these things. They got beef stew or whatever. They also come in bigger containers. But these things are fantastic. Once you eat the product, you just throw this away and it becomes useless. But these are not useless. Boop, boop. And you're actually helping the environment by repurposing this stuff. Again, plastic containers are fan-freaking-tastic. Aluminum containers are also very nice, and they can be used for countless other things other than just containers. And again, we're at this plastic stuff. So, oh yeah, and we were talking about these nets here, right? You get all kinds of onions, turkeys. I have a big turkey one back there, and there's another one in the freezer ready for me to use. I've had tons and tons of these throughout time. Sometimes I get tired of them and throw them away, but these make great freaking bags. These are fan-freaking-tastic as bags. Now, also, and Michelle can attest to this, when you're out mushrooming,
yes,
you don't use a paper bag or whatever. You use little net bags like this so that the seeds can be spread around and continue mushrooming later. But
good point, dear. Thank you for making that one.
not a problem. She's got a thing for that.
That irks me so bad.
It does. It really irks her to no end.
Because you affect the environment. When you pull from the environment, you shouldn't deplete the environment.
Exactly. Yes. Now, I have a specific purpose for this netting stuff, and it's not exactly containers, because I could take any one of these things that I have here. Let's say, this little container here can fit in here, and it makes a nice little bag for my container. There's a container for containers. But storage devices. I can tie this to my waist on a ruck or something and keep stuff in it so that it's outside the bag but still safe, secure, and readily available. So, but I could just go on and on and on about the practical use for this stuff. My general and basic purpose for this is...
okay, can I interject one more? This is kind of silly, but...
Interjection! Where's that from?
for Schoolhouse Rock. For a woman, or a man, I guess, I shouldn't genderize it this way, but if you've got long hair and you need a hair tie, straighten those puppies out and you got a hair tie.
There you go. Also, if you cut this in, you know how the scrunchies are made?
Yeah.
They have stuff like this, and they're yes. These actually would be really good.
Okay, I gotta call you when I want to stop recording.
Okay, hold on one moment. Okay, so also I have a scrunchie, a really big scrunchie that I got from the Dollar Tree. I think it's on a stick. I took it apart. It's just basically like this, really long. So they want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back. The good thing is that phone call is actually important because I may get 3 new students here soon. So anyway, we were talking about these little bags here, which can be used as bags or whatever else. I actually used these one time to put a gourd in, leave it out over the winter time, having it hanging, and made a nice little container out of it. Anyway, what I plan on doing is cutting these and opening them up so that it's a big sheet. I'm going to piece them all together, and I'm going to create a net for a fish trap. That's the whole idea and basis behind these right now. So that's that. And then we have this other stuff I want to talk about. So this is something that I've been doing for many years, and it's a supplement to sauces and spices and a little bit of everything, really. But anywhere I go, any restaurants or anything like that usually has these little containers of stuff. This is sugar, and I'll always grab a handful of sugars or salts, or here's one from Burger King. Sugars, salts, spices, whatever they have available to use while you're there eating, to add to your food. I always grab a few ketchups, mustards, whatever. Kentucky Fried Chicken and Buffalo Wild Wings have these towelettes, these little white towelettes. So I always grab a handful of those anytime we ever go to there. And those things so far last a really long time in those containers. I've had the majority of these for at least 3 or 4 years, and open them up and they're still wet and usable. They're fantastic. One thing, hey, what was the name of that movie? What was the name of that movie with Denzel Washington as the blind guy? He was in that
Book of Eli?
Book of Eli, yes. So the Book of Eli has a perfect example of these wet wipes were being used as a monetary exchange after the end of the world type thing, and they were he was wanting something charged, some kind of electrical device, a radio or something charged, and as part of payment he was using these wet wipes as part of a payment. It's fantastic. I love that scene. So wet wipes are very important to have out in the woods. Believe me, if you've ever spent any time out in the woods without wet wipes, you're not having fun out there. So salts, sugars, all sorts of little packaged spices and all that kind of stuff. I have a container here. This is Marco's Pizza grated Parmesan cheese. I got a good supply of those. Here's some Burger King and other sugars. Let's see here. Oh, Coffee Mate. Now, I don't drink coffee, but this is a good dairy substitute if you're requiring any kind of dairy in any kind of product that you don't have. I'm not saying it's going to be the greatest thing ever, believe me, but it can be used as a substitute when necessary. And I have a small pack of these laying around. Also, and I don't know where I found these. These were part of some kind of promotional thing. Mrs. Dash Original Blend. I got a handful of these here that I got sitting in here with the sugars. I really don't know where I found those, but they were being given away as a promotional. I've actually found Chex Mix seasoning in packets as well. I used to have some of those. I don't think I still do, but have some of those. Popeye's chicken. We don't have Popeyes, or we just got a Popeyes. We just got a Popeyes. They have this Cajun sparkle mix, and I've grabbed a few of these because seasonings make food out in the woods, people. I'm telling you, without seasoning, you're going to have a shitty time out in the woods eating bark and grass and shit. All right, got to have seasoning. So we have that. Hotels. Rarely do we stay at hotels, but recently we stayed at a few hotels when we went to Colorado, and they've got little Lipton tea. So I got a few Lipton teas. Tea's always fantastic to have out in the woods. It makes hot water taste so much better. Hot cocoa. They have hot cocoa there. I have a few of those. But I've been actually drinking those, so they're sparse now. But you can get hot cocos at hotels. I think on their breakfast bar, I think this where I got this honey, Smucker's Pure Honey, and hopefully it's real honey. I'm not sure if it's a honey substitute or actually real honey, but got a little thing of honey here. Got a few of those. A couple things I did gather up from the breakfast from that hotel that I stayed at are these little peanut butter to-goes. Got a couple of these. Peanut butter is fantastic because, man, it lasts for a long time in these little containers, and it's very tasty. So, and filling and good for you. When you're out in the woods, you need energy. So these little... You get a chance to grab these in like a hotel or whatever, grab 2 or 3 of those, keep them for emergencies. Let's see here. Now, again, we have packs of countless different kinds of sauces from every restaurant we ever go into. Taco Bell, Wendy's, Arby's. We have tons of the sauces. We're always grabbing extra sauces. Let's see here. Hold on. Here's a Wendy's honey mustard. So anytime we get anything, if we don't particularly plan on using the packet, we still get them for later dates. And there has been times when we've actually run low or out of ketchup or mustard or something like that, and these little packets have actually saved our food because you got to have ketchup. So that sort of stuff. Now, another thing here is ramen noodles are pretty inexpensive. Now, I love the little seasoning packets that come with them, but my dad, he used to eat ramen. He doesn't eat it anymore because he can't, because there's too much salt in it. But when he would eat ramen noodles, he did not like the seasoning packets that came with the ramen noodles, so he wouldn't use them, and he would leave them laying around the house, and he gave them to me. So I have these little shrimp and chicken are my favorites. So I have several shrimp and chicken flavored packets for the ramen noodles and stuff like that. So just as a general idea, here we go. So I don't drink coffee, but on occasion, if we're in a hotel or a convenience store or something like that, they've got these little packets all the time. Here's like some creamer for coffee. You can get these in hotels and convenience stores and stuff like that go along with the product you buy, but you don't always have to use them for the product that you're buying them for. So just keep in mind that anytime you go to any convenience stores, any restaurants, any hotels, or anything like that, there's always something small like this that you can gather up for future use in emergencies or something worse than an emergency. So keep that in mind. Thank you guys for watching Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and enjoy the outdoors, even if it's just your own backyard.